Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And the content that I'm going to show you right now, you are going to love, because a big part of the gun control advocate pushes, the big part of the gun control infringements, is posturing, making something seem that it is not, make something seem bigger than it actually is. And that's what I'm about to show you. Everything will be linked in the description box below, and I cannot wait to hear what you guys think about this one. And if you are new or returning viewer, please consider hitting the like on this video, subscribing to the channel, and turning the notification bell on. We need this message to get as far as possible, and thank you so much in advance for your consideration. Now, let's dive into this, because there's some stuff that I need to talk about, and forgive my voice, I've got a little bit of a cold, but that hasn't stopped this freedom train yet. So, here's what we're talking about from the New York Times. For Giffords, this is Gabby Giffords, leader of Giffords.org, one of the premier gun control groups in the United States. Progress on gun safety is like her recovery, inch by inch. Now, if you look at this article on a high level, it's a lauding of the amazing accomplishments by the gun control advocacies. However, there's some things in here which I want you to know, specifically like the leader of Giffords.org, Gabby Giffords, saying that assault weapon bans are not going to happen because they will be tough. That's not something that you hear. In fact, if you have been with this channel for a while, you know that during the HR 1808, the assault weapons ban of 2022, earlier on, we were talking about the fact that this is posturing. It wasn't going to get through the Senate. And there was all of this posturing from the Democrats and the gun controllers saying, now is the time, and yet it went nowhere. Let me know in the comments field if you were here for us or with us for that entire debacle. But let's keep going, because this is what it's about. This is about posturing from strength, even though it might not be reality. And that's important to understand, because we have the numbers on our side, we have the Constitution on our side, and we are making momentum. Let's keep going. A divided Congress means there is little hope for ambitious reforms in Washington. The Supreme Court, now with a six-justice conservative majority, ruled last year that Americans have a broad right to carry guns, making it harder for states to impose restrictions. That's called the Bruen decision. We talked about that when it happened. We talked about that across the board every time there's a gun control response. The Bruen decision was one of the more powerful decisions that gets in the way and inhibits their gun control desires. That's the point here. Again, I got a few more examples, and this is in the New York Times today, linked right down there. Quote from Chris Murphy. Without the laws we've passed, even more people would be dead, said Senator Christopher S. Murphy, Democrat of Connecticut, who led the push for last year's package of gun safety measures. But right now, we're losing the race. We're passing laws at a quick rate, but not fast enough to keep up with the pace of new weapons in communities and homes. Translation. The American people are adopting their Second Amendment rights like never before, and all the gun control desires in the world are getting stymied by the Bruen decision and other decisions and other court cases and TROs that are being dealt out. In fact, Chris Murphy, when he passed the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, which is the red flag funding that he's talking about, still hasn't really truly gone into effect, but he's still saying we're making progress, but we're still losing. He also said we don't have the votes for an assault weapons ban. We covered that when HR 1808 was going through the Congress. Anyway, now we get to the payoff here. Gabby Giffords, listen to what she said about assault weapons bans. Miss Giffords is an optimist, but also a realist. In written answers to questions and accommodations she sought because conversation is difficult, she conceded that persuading Congress to pass sweeping laws like banning assault weapons or requiring gun manufacturers to make weapons with safety devices like fingerprint locks, quote, will be tough. Well, that kind of flies in the face of every gun control politician, every gun control advocacy, and every fundraising email they sent out. It says here it will be tough. Chris Murphy says we're losing. Everyone's picking up their adoption of Second Amendment faster than ever before, and even said the assault weapons ban wasn't going to pass when it was going through the House. Interesting when you contrast those against the existing fundraising options that they did. Are you picking up a theme? Let's keep going. I got one more thing for you, and this should shake it home real tight. In a sign of the political realities that she faces, Miss Giffords' home state of Arizona is not among them. Ooh. The state does not have a red flag law. That's interesting. And allows people 21 or older to carry a concealed loaded firearm in public without a permit. Constitutional carry. Mr. Kelly said it would be a tough proposition to get gun safety measures through the state legislature and has not been especially vocal about gun safety as a senator. So you've got Gabby Giffords, who is the leader of Giffords.org, which is one of the main gun control organizations in the United States, lives and chooses to live in a state where there's constitutional carry, there's no red flag laws, and is a fairly conservative state on gun control and gun rights. Isn't that odd and kind of at odds with what the whole message has been? Her husband, sitting senator in the United States Senate, Mark Kelly, says, it's going to be a tough proposition. Are you seeing what's laying out right in front of you? This is a big con job, and the sooner that we realize they are posturing, the sooner we will send them back to where they belong in a different part, leaving the Second Amendment alone. It's going to take time, but we can and will do it. And that's what this channel is all about. Let me know what you guys think in the comments field, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.